commence radio transmission.
It's Geeks and Brews. This is the show where we geek out with a brew. This is Chris here. It is Eli.
What's up? What's up?
It is Guillermo.
Hey.
And it is Edgar.
He didn't even he got it on mute, huh? He had it on mute.
He had it on mute.
No.
Just
I answered. I unmuted and then spoke. A little too late.
He almost.
You know,
you thought.
You know, I like to make my audience wait just a little bit.
Just
you
wanted
more
for that, to enlighten them. Just keep them waiting. Oh, Geek Crew, it has been a week. I hope you guys are doing well. Be sure to hit that notification bell. Smash that subscribe button. Of course, this is Geeks and Brews, where we geek out with a brew, and can't geek out with a brew without. The brew of the day. And tonight we are drinking this amazing beer called Fear Movie Lions. It's a hazy double IPA by Stone Brewing Company. Show that up for the camera. I hope you guys are ready. It is a hazy IPA, Guillermo, your favorite.
8.5%. God damn.
It is. It's a double IPA, gents. Double. So let's
this is
crack open
Guillermo's
these bad
Guillermo's
boys.
forte here.
His favorite.
Look at that.
Oh,
Virtual
yeah.
Cheers, gents. Virtual cheers.
Virtual cheers.
Enjoy, Guillermo.
It looks like you're pouring one out for the homies right there, Guillermo.
Oh. That is
a double IPA.
I got it.
That's definitely a double IPA.
It is.
I like it a lot.
Well, we have a show for you. We saw the movie Thanksgiving, which we're going to get into in a second. But first, Geek Crew, what have you been up to?
What's up, bro?
What's up, Eli?
What's up?
How was your week?
It was cool. I had a week full of rest. I think I almost said the week full of Wex. But sorry. I swear I speak English. But I had the whole week off from work. Got some much needed rest. I've been watching a lot of catching up on some shows, trying to at least. I'm caught up to Invincible season 2, and then I've watched a few movies, some with some degenerates on Friday.
Sounds like assholes to me, but
Yeah, you should avoid those people. Especially don't join a podcast with them. That is the worst.
Oh,
decision.
don't ever do that.
Yeah, I mean, this is our new version of say no to drugs. Say no to this.
Say no to
Say no to
podcasts.
degenerates.
Degenerates.
Yeah, so Friday I saw a movie with the same degenerates, and we had some drinks and had a good time.
No.
My favorite group of degenerates.
Darn tootin'.
And we had some good food. Jesus Christ, it escapes me where we went to go eat.
Is it
Oh,
place
that's
called-
Don't you remember?
Desvelados, that's right.
Desvelados.
Yeah, where we had some. Actually, my food was decent, a little bit overpriced, but it was. I liked it, but again, it was taquitos. You can't really mess up taquitos.
Oh, you can. You can.
I mean, you can, but it's hard.
You can.
You gotta put in, but you gotta put in work to mess that up. But I enjoyed it for the most part. A tad bit salty for my taste, but overall it was good. Then we just did a little bar happen.
As they say in Boston, ba happen.
We did some bar happen. Our accent is impeccable, right, Guillermo?
Yeah, I mean, after that movie, you've perfected it.
And
It's like
that's
you live
mostly
there all
it.
your life.
Yeah,
How was your Thanksgiving?
it was awesome. Spend it with family, all my nieces and nephews, or mostly all of them. We didn't get the ones from out of town this time, but it was okay. Yeah, I just had all the fixins, turkey, ham, even had some tri-tip, mashed potatoes, the whole works. It was really good. Enjoyed it a lot. And since then, I've just been trying to fill my time up, mostly trying to hang out with people that I haven't hung out with in a while. I went to visit a buddy in Victorville. Also hung out a little bit with an old friend, Miguel, also known as Neighbor. Shout out to Neighbor if he's listening.
Shout out.
He's a good friend of the show. He's one of our biggest fans, guys. If you don't know this already. So shout out to Neighbor. And also, I watched a movie today, a little movie called The Hunger Games, the Ballad of Birds and Snakes.
Battle of Birds? I don't think it's called the Battle of Birds and Snakes.
The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Okay, I definitely want to see this, and so don't give any spoilers because I think this might be a good movie of the week another time.
It actually is a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. Pretty standard, boring stuff.
What's up, Guillermo?
Hey, what's up? So this week I pulled an Eli, whereas Eli pulled a Guillermo. So I didn't watch much. The only thing that although I did a lot of things, the only show that I've been watching that I could say from this week is Rick and Morty. I'm still kind of following their new season.
Okay.
And that show still manages to be solid. I'm always amazed at their creativity and really there's no lack of things that they can do in the episode because it's sci-fi. They could do that, but they're just really fun characters. They really get into it. Sometimes get very meta, but it's still doing well right now. I discovered a couple of weeks ago that they had already started the new season, so I was really excited when I learned that.
How are you liking the new voice cast?
I don't really notice a difference.
Okay. I don't really watch the show, but I heard that some of the characters got recasted. The voices.
Yeah, the main ones. The
two main ones? Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
They were both voiced by Dan Harmon. And so they replaced them both. Now what's interesting, and this is kind of a fan bias that people have. People saw the previews for one of them and they're complaining that these people don't sound anything like the original Rick and Morty. But here's the catch. That clip was a clip recorded by Dan Harmon. So they were complaining that the voices didn't match before the voices didn't, before the new actors had even shown. So I will say that I am always wary when people are really trigger happy to be critical, but honestly I didn't notice any noticeable difference. If anything, there's just maybe a little less burping, and that's the one part of the main character that I absolutely hated. So I'm okay with that.
I read this interesting article a while back. I want to say it was either on Deadline or the LA Times. It was one of the two, and it was about Dan Harmon and just his experiences prior to Rick and Morty. When Rick and Morty was out, just his work ethic was just insane, and how writers and everyone on the show, would feel uncomfortable things, working for him. So it was a little bit crazy.
Is it like an Elon situation where, not to get you in trouble, Eli?
What?
No, but but no, I wouldn't.
Because
They're
like
too.
Elon is like the reputation of being a workaholic, and everyone's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
No, he's not
I mean,
belittling people. If you know, so
No,
nothing like that.
but the
So,
expectation that you always need to be working.
yes, yes, and believe it or not, he's calmed down. The latter years, but
who has?
Dan Harmon
Oh,
compared to
No,
what it
Elon's so
was.
crazy.
Yeah,
I.
yeah, that's another can of worms.
That's your
I don't-
opinion, but whatever.
What's up, Edgar?
How's it going, guys? How are you guys doing?
Good.
Wait.
Awesome.
I'm sorry. Before we get started with Edgar,
Yes, sir.
I want Guillermo to explain in 2 minutes, make it 3, no more than 3, what Dan Harmon got in trouble for and why he got kicked out of Rick and Morty.
Um,
For
basically
context.
inappropriate behavior. Like I forget all the details, but
So was he Me Too, basically?
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah. He had. I know he had like asked out a coworker, but that might have been years ago. So I don't know if that just resurfaced, but he kept like pressuring. That
it was.
I wouldn't say
that-
coworker. I would say like employee. So,
Yeah, like I just checked. Megan Gantz, a writer who worked within Community, said like she was a victim of his misconduct, and like that was one example. But like other people had come up with that with their stories of how he had allegedly treated them.
Hmm. So it was sexual misconduct, you're saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know if this was correct or not. I also heard something about some kind of internet misconduct with like minors.
That I don't
did
know.
not hear that. Yeah, not going to comment on that.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
Back to our regularly scheduled program. What's up, Edgar?
What's up, guys? All right, guys. So this week was a kind of a little hectic week for me. Being the holidays and all. But anyways, I had the opportunity to watch a show. I mean, I haven't finished the show, but I'm kind of like right in the middle of it. It definitely isn't one of those 24 episode jobs like Chris likes. But this particular show is a fantastic show so far. So I highly recommend you have the opportunity to watch it if you can. It's a great show. Awesome cast, good acting, great story. So let's see, we got Patrick Gallo, the actor plays Mario Puzo. Let's see, Lou Ferrigno.
Wait a minute. Is this the making of
Yes.
the Godfather?
Yes, Lou Ferrigno has a part, plays Lenny Montana. Let's see, Giovanna Ribisi plays Joe Colombo.
What?
Colin Hanks plays Barry Lepidus, and then we got Miles Teller plays Albert S. Ruddy, and Dan Fogler plays Francis Ford Coppola. So the show is called The Offer, and it's basically the drama to make the film, The Godfather, and how the producer has to literally like first Sinatra calls the mob and says, I don't want them to make this movie because it makes, because he was saying that he was that the Bob character, the singer. So he's like a traitor to his people, the Italians and all kinds of stuff, and it makes the Italians look bad. So pretty much everybody's against them making the movie, and he gets the guy Joe Colombo gets he calls the mob boss here in LA and sends a message, so they shoot out his car and tell him, you can't make this film. And it's him trying to deal with that, deal with the studio, deal with getting the actors. The head of the studio head doesn't want Al Pacino before Coppola does. And dude, it's a fantastic show. Highly recommend you guys watching it.
I actually heard an interesting thing about the Godfather affecting reality, which was that apparently before the Godfather, it wasn't the norm for Italian mobsters to dress in suits and like very nice. It was more thuggish, but that movie kind of popularized that as their style.
Well, see, the thing was that they didn't want him to make that movie because Joe Colombo said, oh, the mob doesn't even exist. We're just regular people living our lives.
Ah.
And so basically it made the Italians look bad. So that's he created like the Italian League, kind of like the NAACP but for Italians, and he was fighting against the movie.
Okay.
And so he tells them, well, what's the problem? Yeah, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a movie about immigrants fighting against the system and creating a family and this and that. And he tells them, come and read the script. I'll invite you, and then we'll talk about it. If there's something you don't like, we can work on it. And he gets him to come, and he tells him, okay, I don't want you to mention the word mafia. He's like, oh, done. I'll call and get it done right now. So like there was one scene where the movie is supposed to say the word mafia, but they cut it out because the mobsters didn't want them to refer to it as a mafia. But there's a lot of little things, everything's coming down to the wire. They don't have things, and it's great, man. It's the guy, the producer. The only thing he had done before that movie, he had done Hogan's Heroes, that show.
Yeah,
Very famous show.
Yeah.
So he had done that, and then he's dating the lady that owns the Chateau Marmont.
Okay.
So that goes into play, and dude, there's some really good dialogue in the movie. Like there's a scene where he says the girlfriend or wife or whatever, I guess Mickey Cohen comes to her and says, I want you to use my kitchen crew for the chateau. And she's like, I don't need a kitchen crew. And so he's kind of like muscling in, and I guess she's like she's Jewish. So he tells him, I wasn't scared of, or I had to deal with the Nazis. You think I'm scared of a punk like you? And so she fends off Mickey Cohen. And then later has this amazing little dialogue with the secretary, which is Juno Temple, about the producer and stuff. It's a great. I don't want to go too much into it because I hope you guys watch it. It's a great show.
Yeah.
So
what's it called again?
It's on my list. That's on Paramount.
What's it called again?
Too. Right?
It's called The Offer, and it's on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like 10 episodes, I believe.
Did you actually subscribe to it, or like for the month, or?
Oh, it's definitely worth it. You should. I mean, seriously, it's great, especially if you like, Hollywood and the whole Hollywood lore and stuff. Like you get to see cool characters. You get to see Robert Redford. He convinces him to be in a movie of his, and he, in order for him to be in the movie, tells him, I'll make Paramount make the suit against you go away. So he's like, all right, we need to get drunk so I can know what kind of person I'm getting in business with. So
he made him an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah, so he basically gets drunk with him in order to feel him out to see if he's going to work with him. And then you get to see like a young Pacino, and he's like a starving actor, and like he's pretty much ordering everything on the menu and stuff. Dude, and then he actually gets Mario Puzo to write or to co-write it, and the studio doesn't want to because he says that writers write like 300-page essays, and he's like it never works. So Coppola and him co-write it together, and then
very nice.
Mario Puzo wants Brando, but everybody says you're crazy. That's not going to happen. So on his own, he writes letters to Brando, and Brando answers and says, "Oh, I would love to be in your movie." And everybody's like, "There's no way he's going to do it. He's like the biggest actor in the world, but his last 5 movies bombed, so nobody's going to touch him." So he it's great, man. You guys definitely have to check it out, Chris.
You know what?
Yeah,
You
it's
know
on
what's
my list.
interesting? I learned about Brando in that movie. A lot of times he actually gets criticism because for a lot of his lines, like he would literally have the lines written down, hidden in front of him. Like so, there's one scene where this guy who's sitting on the opposite side of the desk, like where his shirt would normally be, was just literally a handwritten script of everything he has to say.
Yeah.
And he usually gets a lot of crap for that because he did develop a reputation for being lazy about reading scripts when he kind of started to give up on his love of acting. But in his defense, someone pointed out recently that, you know, it was constantly changing. And so it wasn't entirely his fault that he would do that because, like you had said, so much was last minute
Yeah.
that it made sense that that would be what happened.
Yeah, like at one point they has to show the script. He hasn't finished it. He makes his secretary steal it from Coppola, and then they like fill it in with like fake papers in the middle because they don't have a second act yet. He just like, dude, you guys have to watch it. It's freaking great. Yeah, so far,
Damn.
yeah, so far it's awesome. Especially, I know Chris, and I know you would definitely appreciate all the little little references and all that stuff, Chris, to the movies and stuff.
Yeah, totally. It is my cup of tea. It is on my list. Hopefully, I'll get to it. If not this coming month, maybe the next month.
Yeah, cool.
So,
Yeah, so that's pretty much that, and obviously some family time, for over the holidays, and went to visit some cousins. Obviously, I did have some drinks with some degenerates.
yeah, these degenerates I keep hearing about.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I had a pretty good time. I wasn't able
Yeah, me
to.
too.
Yeah, I wasn't able to indulge as much as I would like, or as much as we used to, and previous occasions. But I'll take it. When it comes, and enjoy it while it lasts.
Definitely couldn't agree more. What did I do? I also hung out with some three other degenerates in the here in the crowd. Yeah, we partook in an after Thanksgiving get together. Obviously celebrated Thanksgiving. I did cook a Cajun turkey, so that was the highlight. We had a whole Thanksgiving meal here at
Cajun.
home. Cajun turkey, which was delicious. But yeah, hung out with you guys. We went to go see the movie we're going to talk about, Thanksgiving. We also went to go eat some excellent mediocre food. If I do say so myself. No, it was good. It just not really my cup of tea. I mean, for the price, you can go other places, get a little bit better, but it was decent. I'm not gonna knock the restaurant, but I gotta say though that the decor of that place, just not feeling it, not having it.
Oh my God, Chris, let it
Yeah,
go. It's not circus.
I don't know. It felt like I was,
It was not
It
Las
felt-
in a
Vegas.
casino or something.
I mean, it felt like it would be like something you'd see outside a beach, like it's
Yeah,
very
yeah, like
overly
Huntington Beach.
shiny.
Yeah.
It just seemed tacky.
Yes.
It was a little bit loud, but I
Yeah, I
wouldn't
think that's the
say
point. I
tacky.
think that's really the point.
Yeah.
You walk by there and you're definitely gonna notice that place more than anything else.
Yeah,
I did
if
not
the goal is
notice
to,
it.
if the goal is
Really?
to stand out, I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe
It's
not
inside that
so
it's
much
that
during
way.
the daytime, but at night, trust me, you can see
yeah.
it a
At
lot.
night you pass by Guillermo, you're gonna notice it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
that's
went
the
there right
point,
at dusk, where
and
it's
and
not.
if you know what that word means, then you'll understand why.
Yep, exactly.
So
Yeah.
there you go. There you go. But yeah, it was a great fun. My favorite was Guildhall. Us three gents went to Guildhall, Edgar,
Nice.
and we partook in some more drinks. And Guildhall is I guess you'd call it a gaming bar without the gaming. They have the TV screens around where you can watch YouTubers or Twitch. What do you call them? Twitchers?
I think they were
Tweakers?
Twitchers.
Twitchers.
And Guillermo and Chris were obsessed with the guy playing Mario.
So
Mario
this was not
Oh my
a
gosh.
regular Mario game. It looked like it was like the graphics were like Super Mario World back in the 90s. But this was like Mario, like Satan himself designed the level. Like it was impossible to beat. The guy had
Yeah, these were like
was
I
a
forget
mod.
what they're called, but they're basically fan-made levels
they're
that
mods.
were trying to be of like devilish difficulty, and this guy was doing that. But the thing is, the pace in which he was getting through that level was glacial, and
But
he
you
kept
but you
freaking
had
making the
to.
same mistakes.
But you also had to have speed. So even though it was glacial, how he never made that next step, he had to do so at blazing speed because the level itself was constantly moving up and down very fast.
Yeah.
And there were like
Yeah.
killer blocks. Like you land on a block, you're dead, or you touch it, you're dead. So
Yeah,
it
the timing was everything with that level.
Yeah,
yeah.
but
yeah.
the thing that kills me is that he'd repeat the same pattern, get through this one part like a million times, and then million and one time he fucks up at the right beginning. Like you're watching him it took him an hour to get past one part, and we were just staring at it and being like, dude, we just want to see him finish, and he never frickin' did.
This was the equivalent, Edgar, of the DVD symbol on your screensaver, on your DVD player screensaver when you used to have those.
The ones
hitting
that bounce
the
around.
corner.
Yeah, the one that
Hit-
bounced
bounce
around.
and hit the corner.
Yeah.
The Office did a bit on this, the show The Office, and it felt like that, like it's gonna hit the corner. Yeah, no, lets me down. Lets me down all the time. But no, it was fantastic. But gents, yeah, thank you. And I've got the Christmas tree all up. So right next to me is the tree. So
All right.
maybe I'll post a picture.
Productive week.
Productive. How about a little bit of news? So the anyone watching the Hollywood Christmas Parade? You know that's still a thing.
No.
Yeah, it's still a thing. It's going to re-air
The
December.
Hollywood Christmas Parade.
The Hollywood Christmas Parade.
Yeah,
I
it
used
just
to watch this
happened.
as a kid.
I've never watched it.
I used to watch this as a kid because Santa always made his appearance afterwards.
I was
know-
never
I
a
know-
fan of the parades. I don't know why.
I
know
forgot
the,
all about it.
I know the one, the Thanksgiving one. What is it, Macy's?
Macy's, yep.
Day.
Yeah. That, and then the one for New Year's, but I don't know about no Christmas Parade, Chris.
Yeah, as we record this, it is going down Hollywood Boulevard. But if you miss it, don't worry. Local LA station, KTLA, will show it in its entirety on December the 15th. So good to know. An incident happened today at Disneyland. An incident of the losing clothes variety. It's a Small World. I'm gonna have to not ride that ride for a long time.
Were people having sex on the Small World again?
No, but people got rid of their clothing during that ride.
Why?
A representative told Deadline that the guests got off the ride while it was in motion, and was stopped when park operators were made aware of the situation. And the guest was detained and the person removed from the property altogether. So, yeah, I guess it's not a small world after all.
Well, wait. Are you talking about a guy or a girl?
The guest. It just said guest, didn't say guy, didn't say girl.
Yeah, because that also changes depending on the situation.
Oh, yeah, okay, you're right. Well, trying to make it funny, but actually not in the way you're saying, if that makes sense. Any Scream fans out there?
No.
Sure, why not? The first few ones were not bad.
So it was reported that Jenna Ortega, who was part of the Scream franchise, is not going to be returning for Scream 7. More importantly, there is going to be a Scream 7. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean,
why do we need a Scream 7?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Why do we need a Scream 6 is the better question.
Although Scream 6, I have to admit, it was cool because it took place in New York. And I was in New York, and we watched it in New York. So that was pretty cool. That's about it, guys. I don't have anything going on other than the writers are back. So it's good to have them back. We should have a plethora of shows and movies coming back soon into production. Believe it or not, Deadpool 3 is now going to be the only MCU film released in 2024.
Nice.
What?
Yes, because of the strikes and coming back from the strike. So everything's
Thank
pushed back.
God.
And you know what? I'm actually okay with that.
You
Me
know,
too.
I think we need that reset.
Yes, we
I
do.
agree.
Yeah, I will actually be excited for, the next Avengers film.
Yeah.
Definitely Fantastic Four. We're waiting a couple years before anything. And Deadpool's just it would be a fun movie to see next summer.
I'm kind of curious. Is DC doing any things for next year? I know they have projects. Like I remember.
It might be like TV or something, or on the streaming, but not.
Well, I know
movie
they're
movies.
working on. Actually, I remember someone I knew was saying that they were going to be like in one of the DC ones, and that was something that I know was going to happen, but I don't know what the project was.
But is it slated? Is it part of this James Gunn universe?
I think so, but I don't know.
Because Superman's leading it off in 2025. So we are getting obviously Aquaman, but
this was one that involved Superman, so that might be 2025 one now.
Okay. Yeah, Superman was pushed to 2020. Actually, was it? I think it was already always set for 2025.
Yeah, it's always been set for 2025.
Yeah, so hallelujah, guys. It actually feels good that we don't have this plethora of a comic book. Well, I wouldn't say comic book movies, because there's many comic book out there that aren't superhero driven. But superhero movies, I'm glad that it's not one every quarter, a big one every quarter, or every 2 months or whatnot. So this is good for the industry.
It looks like we're getting the Batman Part 2 this next year.
I thought that was 2025. It is 2024? Sure.
I think so.
I
mean, that was
think,
a solid. Oh no, that's 2025 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might.
I think next year might be the Joker.
Oh, the Joker.
Oh, yes, you're
Folie
right.
à Deux.
Yeah, the Folie à Deux with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
What?
Yeah, you didn't
Really?
know this?
I did not know that.
Yeah, Lady Gaga is going to be Joaquin Phoenix's Harley Quinn.
Although that one I'm okay with, because especially that last one didn't feel like it didn't feel like Batman's Joker. Obviously, it's a different Joker, so I'm actually okay with this. It feels like it could be a good gangster movie.
Yeah, it's its own thing. It's its own world, and I personally really liked that movie. It was different, and it was dark, and thought it was awesome. I didn't know.
Yep.
When they announced it, and I went into the movie theater, I didn't know what to expect, because I was like, it's one of my favorite villains. I hope they don't mess this up, But at the end of the movie, I was like, oh damn, that was pretty fucking good. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, your thoughts, Guillermo, and what did you think of the film, or Edgar?
The film what?
The Joker film.
God damn it.
I mean, I'm sorry. He said, "What do you think of the film more, Edgar?"
No, I said Guillermo or Edgar.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, feel free to chime in.
okay. So, I enjoyed it generally as a movie. It was definitely a movie that creeped me out quite a bit. I think that was the point.
Yeah, that was the point. Of course.
But I mean, there is a little bit about like what you're expected to understand is reality or not. I think it was taking a modern thing. It was a movie I appreciated but didn't entirely enjoy, if that makes sense. Like I appreciate it.
I don't know.
But because it's supposed to be uncomfortable, like, you know, there's part of me that also didn't. But I'm kind of curious how they're gonna bring it into the rest of the reality, because
I don't
in
think
a
they have
way
to.
it didn't feel attached to.
I don't think they are.
But you know what
It's its
though?
own thing.
I think what Guillermo is missing is that the movie was a character study on a fucking crazy person.
Again, I didn't miss it. That's why I said I appreciate it.
Yeah, but then you know then.
But it doesn't
what
mean
I didn't
I
understand is if it's a
enjoyed
character
how
study.
they do it.
Okay, but what I'm not understanding is why would you bring up the fact that what was the point? What do you mean what was the point? It was a character
Well,
study.
I didn't say what was the point.
I heard you say that what was the point of the movie?
No, I didn't say that.
Or
No, he
was
said
it-
that was the point of the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but
I said the
I mean,
point
you
of
know,
the like. I'm
But
like
the
when I
point
said it
of
was
the movie.
uncomfortable.
Gotcha.
I said that was. But I also realized that was part of the point.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I mean, because he was a crazy person.
Yeah,
So you're
I wasn't
supposed to be,
saying.
You're supposed to feel. Yeah.
I wasn't saying what was the point.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. I just want to make sure that I understood it correctly. It's
No
been
problem.
clarified.
It's
But-
that hazy double IPA, man.
Damn,
Yeah, right.
Things are getting hazy for Edgar.
But no, I thought it was a great film. I love the commitment, the acting from what's his name,
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. I thought he fucking went all the way and he did an awesome job. He was scary as shit. You know, the guy was I would not want to cross paths with that guy down the street. I would go jump over to another part of the sidewalk because that guy's crazy.
I mean, I feel like living near Hollywood. I actually don't think that's unrealistic.
No, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right to a certain extent. You're right. But
you do run into people.
Of course. You know, I work with, and in the situations where I have to deal with a lot of homeless people. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you know, and there some of them are under the influence and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I understand, but it's just, you know, he did a fantastic job, and I thought the movie was a great movie. I'm curious to see what, you know, how they follow it, like Guillermo said, what they're gonna do, but either way, I'm looking forward to it.
Same.
You guys, well,
Plus,
real
it has
quick.
a
Yeah,
cool title, right?
oh yeah. Was it Folie à Deux?
Yeah.
Folie à Deux. All right, real quick, for all you YouTubers out there, be sure to hit that notification bell. Most importantly, though, smash that subscribe button. We want you to follow the Geek Crew. I almost sounded like one of those. We want you to join the army.
No thanks.
Right? No.
Wait, what branch were you, Eli?
I was in the Navy, sir.
So basically the same. Just kidding.
Shut the fuck up.
Wow, those are shots right there.
Cheers. Shots
No,
of fire.
no pun intended.
I mean, I could make it happen if you want, Guillermo. Just let me know.
Well, just join our Geek Crew. We want to know what you're drinking. Put it in the chat. What are you drinking tonight? We are drinking Stone Fear Movie Lions. And you know, obviously it sounds like they're trying to say Fear Movie Lions, but Lions. I mean, I guess that's because when you're drinking the hazy double IPA, Lions becomes Lions because why not? But we saw a film today, so why don't we get to it?
Let's geek out.
And on Friday, the three of us, we went to go watch the film Thanksgiving. This is the latest horror movie, slasher film by
Eli Roth.
awesome director Eli Roth. This film is exactly what you expect. It is about a town. Was it Plymouth, Massachusetts, being terrorized by a killer dressed in it was a founder. Was it? What was his name?
Yeah, it was like an
John?
important pilgrim of the
Yeah.
of that time.
It was like John. How was it, like John Hawk or something like that, or
Something like that, yeah.
yeah, some pilgrim name. John
Yeah.
Locke. No. But he was the. It was his mask that everyone's popular with in that town for Thanksgiving. They had their parades and whatnot, and the killer is dressed like that with the pilgrim hat, and all mayhem ensues. All this a year after a horrible accident that really wasn't. I mean, yes, it was an accident, but it was just the bane of humanity, Black Friday. Because nobody likes Black Friday. Why don't we start with that opening sequence, which sets everything up? I want to hear your thoughts, Eli, on this, the carnage that was Black Friday.
It was pretty on par with how it really is in real life. People did get trampled,
scalped.
Yeah,
you know, like they're Play-Doh or something.
People did get trampled. People did get smashed and killed in real life, didn't they? In some cases.
But I doubt it was that over the top the way they did it in this movie. I mean, you do get annoyed. So there's a bunch of main characters that, one of them, which is the daughter of this Walmart type place. She sneaks in and the people are getting really impatient, even though it's 10 minutes till the opening time. There's only 2 guards and people are just trying to push everything down. And after this group of people gets in and starts taunting the people waiting in line, people get tired and they just basically burst through the glass, which kills one of the guards. And then other one runs away. They go, different people roll a cart over someone, smashing their heads. People bash somebody. Basically a lot of people just get killed. It almost feels like you were in the middle of a bunch of bulls running through. The type of death were just so over the top.
Yeah. And then there's a guy who gets his throat slashed accidentally, and he's going towards the items that he wants to get, and he grabs one, and then he falls slowly to the ground, and he's bleeding out, and then someone else comes by and rips the item from his hand and walks away. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, or the one guy just crawling and someone just stomps on the hand. You can see his hand just deform, and it just. Yeah, it's
super gory and bloody.
Yeah. Would not recommend doing that.
No. Definitely don't break your hand at a Black Friday.
I mean, are you sure it's kind of tempting?
I don't do Black Friday. I did it once, but it was on base when I used to live in Washington. It was on base, and there was a lot of people, but there wasn't as many people as if it would have been in the real world,
Yeah.
And even though I was not near the beginning of the line, I still got everything I wanted, so it wasn't that big a deal to me.
But I mean, yes, there were incidents where people were trampled on in real life, but the way it was just outrageous. And also, this was present day. This wasn't. I mean, this isn't a world of live streaming, so this isn't circa 2003, when I believe it was 03, 04 when that person was trampled on a Black Friday. This is 2023. Maybe that incident, if it was last year, would have been 2022. Who is waiting in line for that with all the sales, out now? This Plymouth town's already kind of ass backwards in that sense. But Eli Roth horror /
he does that. He likes the gory stuff.
Very gory.
Yeah, he likes gory. For sure.
Yeah, so now we're a year later.
The Bear Jew, Chris.
Yeah, there you go.
The Bear Jew.
So now we're a year later, and people are getting killed, murdered, dismembered. because of what happened last year. All these people are in relation to being at that Black Friday event. And of course, like any slasher movie, I mean, it felt a lot like Scream. Of course, teenagers, a group of teens are the main target because it's like they were held solely responsible for everything from this killer, or according to this killer. The death scenes were completely over the top. I was unaware that
And they were all Thanksgiving based.
All Thanksgiving based, yeah. Well, what happened with the bodies? That is, the bodies were strewn around a table, either as food or people going to watch or participate in the Thanksgiving feast.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very gruesome, very Eli Roth-ish. I didn't mind the first victim's death because she was just so damn annoying. She was the waitress at the coffee shop.
Yeah, she was the one handing out the masks for that pilgrim
for the
guy.
Event. Yeah. I feel horrible not remembering that name. It's like John Locke or something like that. But she was so annoying. But the way she killed the one of the characters earlier in the Black Friday, without even realizing it, but she's just so focused on whatever she wanted, a waffle iron or something like that. Yeah, these were like unbelievable items that they wanted. These aren't televisions and computers.
Yeah, it was something like you buy over a certain amount, you get a free waffle iron or something like that.
Yeah.
That's like
my waffle iron. My waffle iron.
And also, I feel kind of gypped in the movie with the trampoline. The trailer that Edgar showed us was a lot better than the actual movie.
We need to give. Because I didn't know this before watching the movie.
Okay. And I had forgotten about that trailer too, but the one that we saw. So let's go back to 2007, Guillermo.
Yeah. Wait. So the thing is to know is, so you know how much the movie Machete was actually based, or many people may not know this, but like the movie Machete, for example, was based on a fake trailer in another movie. It was like this over the top one. It wasn't meant to be real, but then they thought, you know what, we should make a movie off this. Same thing happens with this. This was just meant as like a fake slasher film that was put in an early movie that was meant to be like this over the top Thanksgiving-esque killer. Yeah. And they decided to make a movie on that. And so most of the scenes in that movie were ones that were found in the trailer. Not everything, but most of them.
I mean, obviously reshot, but yeah.
So
the movie was The Grindhouse.
Exactly.
The double feature was The Grindhouse. And that was Robert Rodriguez and oh my God,
Quentin Tarantino.
They did what was it Planet Terror? Is that the name of the movie?
It was a double feature. It was Planet Terror and then it was
Death
Proof. And in between both of those movies, they simulated what it would be like when you would go see a Grindhouse film. So they had like the old, welcome to the show ads, and then they have these fake previews, and they were actually directed by a bunch of famous directors, and they were just little jokes. There's an Edgar Wright preview. There was I think a Rob Zombie preview. That was like the werewolf women of the SS or something like that. And then it was I think Eli Roth. I could be wrong. I don't know if he did the Thanksgiving. Then
he was a producer on Death Proof, and he was I think he was in Death Proof too.
Yeah, and then there was Machete, and then
Machete
there was
Kills.
The Edgar Wright was a movie called Don't, I think, or something like that. It was kind of like a horror movie, but it seemed a little cheesy. It was fun. It was a fun preview. And
it was just a double feature. And if you're at the 1970s watching some, Grindhouse midnight movies, and you're watching a double feature, and it was exactly just like that. They put the two movies together and screened them together.
Yeah.
But yeah, those fake trailers, at
and
least
and
two
you
of
know
them got a
those
movie.
and they, what they simulated was, aside from the fact that you would get to see two movies for the price of one, what they did was they went around and they purposely scratched the film up, and then there's one scene in every movie. What would happen was you would build up a film, show it for a certain amount of time, and then it would move on in the circuit, and it would go to city to city, and throughout those cities, a projectionist would, the movie would mess up on him, so he'd have to cut and splice. So sometimes it would literally cut scenes out entirely because the film burned on them, or the scene, messed up to the projector and they had to remove it because it was too scratched. So by the
Especially
time
in the
you saw it,
yeah.
you were missing. It was like parts of it were missing. You're like, what the hell happened here? So in the movie, they simulate. There's a couple of scenes where you're gonna one of the characters is gonna get a lap dance, and then right when the lap dance happens, and it shows missing reel or missing scene, and you're like, oh, what?
What
And
the
something like
fuck?
that. So
It-
it was kind of funny.
Especially in the day and age when before the multiplex cinemas, they weren't cranking out the number of prints. So that
Yeah.
you're
So
going
yeah,
to a
you had
movie
to
theater. It's
share.
one house. It's one room.
Yeah.
One room theaters. That's it. So
Yeah, yeah.
you're waiting to get that print of that movie.
And it wasn't necessarily just theaters. Sometimes they were driving, so you were that thing was going around everywhere. So by the
Yeah,
time
and,
it made its run, that thing was all scratched up.
yeah, shitty machinery
Yep.
that's not well managed, well kept up. Projectionists that don't know what they're doing. I mean,
Or
let's face it,
they're
they're
too
probably just
busy
kids.
doing something else.
Yeah, they're just kids,
Yeah.
So running it. So yeah, it's gonna get damaged, and that's exactly what we got in 2007. So now, this film is we finally get to see Thanksgiving, and one of the scenes that Eli feels cheated on was the cheerleader jumping on the trampoline, and then
Whoa. I
uh-oh,
didn't.
she does some splits, and what happens? Nice.
She gets stabbed in certain places that it seemed very
From
painful.
underneath the trampoline.
Yeah,
from
from
a-
underneath the trampoline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although they didn't kill the guy watching the same way.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, in the trailer, I think they just like took him off screen. Like what happened?
Yeah. In this one, he just completely twists his head, which is not really a way you would typically
Yeah.
be able to kill someone.
No, I mean you
A
can
lot
break
of-
their neck, but you're not gonna move the skin.
It would be really hard to break someone's neck.
Yeah, but to also move the skin though all the way back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's Eli Roth's world, and I feel like everyone's made of Play-Doh.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So let's get to the killer. The only actor the top billing in this is Patrick Dempsey. And you realize going in that he's either a main character that's a hero or a main character that's a villain. It's one or the other because there's no one else billed with him.
It's
The
kind of
last
like
time-
any like SVU or Law and Order episode. If someone's a celebrity, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily because the celebrity could be like the blamed victim who or they're blamed for doing the whatever the crime is, and then they're exonerated. They find out what really happened. So that could happen in a Law and Order or something like that. But in this case, there's no other like real big name actor. So you know that he's not the target. So it's like in the back of your head, like, yeah, he's probably the killer, but we don't know. The suspension of disbelief is out there trying to track down who it could be. But the ultimate giveaway, and this is toward the end of the film where he's a cop. So there's a parade. Where it
Before
looks
you
like
proceed,
yeah.
spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah, major spoilers.
Spoilers.
So there is a parade, and they're trying to. It's a Thanksgiving parade for the town. They're trying to capture this guy, this killer, and they set up or the warehouse. They're setting up a trap for him. Unfortunately, the killer is not taking the bait, and you see this weird clown walking around, and he's throwing around the gas cans and stuff, and you realize then and there that this guy has he's not just knives and axes and stuff like how he's been killing people so far. We are now talking about it looks like almost military grade. Where are you getting those gas canisters from and stuff? So
Very well
also
prepared.
weirdly reminiscent of The Dark Knight. That funeral scene for the old commissioner where the Joker was. I don't know why I was just thinking of that movie for some reason.
I don't think so, but okay.
It just looked very, I don't know, very much like a planned operation. So that's one dead giveaway. If this killer is another kid, where are you getting this stuff from?
Well, to be fair, there was a character that specifically was dealing that type of illegal
dealing guns, not necessarily. But he was also in the parade. He was legitimately playing on the rock band in the parade, so you automatically discounted him.
I didn't see him do that.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah,
one of the cars. It was like Rock and Roll Plymouth or something like that. So automatically he was discredited from being a killer. But the trap goes wrong. But then you find Dempsey. He's lying. He's a police officer. He's trying to find out who this killer is. You find him laying on the floor, and supposedly he was attacked by the killer. If he was so important to the movie, you would you see that you see those attacks. They're not just off screen, and then your other main character just happens to find you. That's not how it works. So when I saw him lying there, if he wasn't dead, he's got to be the killer, and sure enough, he was. So,
no, but I think that there's also certain cheap moves they did to hide it. The killer is chasing this one girl, and he escapes her by she escapes by jumping over a fence. He's not able to catch her before she gets further, and then as she's running, she ends up finding herself at a police car, and he sees a body on the ground. Here's the thing: if he's the killer, how did he somehow go from not being able to catch her to being ahead of her?
Because she hurt her ankle. That's why she hurt her ankle.
Yeah, but he just appears ahead of her instead of just attacking her.
I guess.
What's the point of even having that ruse? Why not just attack her? And why not be there and attack her instead of pretending, hey, let's go into this field, let's find him.
Now, I have a theory.
He needed to blame the other kid for it first.
And I also have a theory on this. This is setting up to be a franchise. As we see later on in the film, again, spoilers. Dempsey's character is supposedly burned in that warehouse when the fight happens, and that last battle, if you want to call it. He supposedly burns in that warehouse, but they couldn't find anything because because of the explosion, everything would have been burnt to a crisp. So they couldn't find any traces of a person, which is kind of funny.
That's horror movie code for see
Sequel.
the next movie. Yeah.
Yes. But it's also, what do you do in the sequels? You up the ante. So I wouldn't be surprised, hey, I had someone helping me all along.
I still thought that the other guy might have been a second killer.
He could be, and maybe we'll find out in the sequel. So that's just my intuition there.
Yeah. I agree.
The oddest thing about the movie, what is the thing that caught you off guard that you were not expecting, Guillermo?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because Eli and Chris, who I saw a movie with, know exactly what it
No,
was.
no. Well, I hope it wasn't that. I hope it's something else because I'm thinking
No,
of
no,
something.
no. That wasn't that. Actually, what I feel like in this movie, there was one thing that threw me off the scent, and that was because I thought the Patrick Dempsey character was shot in the parade scene, and so that's why I didn't suspect him at that time, because I'm like, oh, it had to be someone else who shot him. Um, but like, so when it was him, I was like, wait, wasn't that guy, that police officer that was shot? So that threw me off.
Yeah.
That I think that, most things were kind of what you would kind of expect. Um, I do say that they had the world's cheapest jump scare I've ever seen.
Yes.
Um, they were in, like, these people were in high school, and suddenly, like, the guy doesn't just pop out. He just is there in front of them.
Well,
Like,
it's
by
a
a corner.
it's a reversal. The shot, and Edgar, you'll love this. The high school guy, your shot is a two shot of the high school, the annoying kid that
Yeah.
when he got punched, I was so happy with, because just like, shut up, and his girlfriend, and he turns around, he's looking right at, like, almost at the camera, just off screen a little bit. He's looking, pointing, what's that? And then the very next scene is the fist coming, like his point of view, coming directly into the camera, like that, so quick. And it was like, oh my god, like that was like the world's worst. Like, did they not? I almost felt like, did you not have the footage, and you ran out of time to shoot the film?
Hey,
So
it scared the hell out of
was a-
Guillermo, though. I'll tell you that.
it was surprising. I admit that, but I was like that. Did I just watch that? Like, that was like low budget shit right there.
Well, it's also one of the things where, if you really think about it, characters in horror movies have zero peripheral vision.
Just say
Uh,
horror movies and professional vision.
For sure.
Peripheral vision. Bad peripheral vision. Like, like what happens
is a chauvinist pig.
So what happens usually is, like, the camera's here and it moves just slightly to the left and there's a killer. But like in real life, we could see that. That would be hard to miss. But because you're in a camera view, they act like that's your normal vision. Everyone has tunnel vision.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what helps the scares.
Yeah.
Eli, what was your surprising moment of the film that it's like, wow, did I just watch that?
Surprising moment of the film. I mean, I don't know about the most surprising moment. I guess I was
like the what the F moment that I just watched.
Surprised that they after they cooked, like, the stepmom of the young girl, that they served her at the dinner table like a turkey, and he was like slicing her up. That was pretty fucked up.
That was gross, but
yeah,
but like the way he was making the table, I wasn't surprised. I thought that he was trying to get the main character, the girl, to be that turkey, but I wasn't expecting that. But when you saw the oven, I'm like, oh, she probably will be, or a side or something.
And then also kind of it was a little weird when he was buttering her up. He was like putting butter on her toes and on her leg.
Weirdly sexual.
Yeah, it was weird, dude. It was like on her face, and I don't know. It just seemed a little weird to me.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of the movie was definitely
like a turkey as well.
Yeah, my favorite part of the movie was definitely Guillermo getting scared.
Oh, yeah. I will say it kind of it's kind of reminded me of the scene that annoyed me the most, which was like this. It's when characters act the least logical for the sake of the plot. There's a scene where that one annoying character Kristen, like he had a gun. Yeah, no, the other annoying one, like the guy who.
Oh, the guy, yeah, the kid.
The bro, like he has a the killer has a knife into this girl he's dating, and she's gonna be dead. Like she's in that thing, and he has a gun pointed, and the killer just kills her and gets away, and he doesn't shoot. He doesn't he doesn't do anything, and he kind of acts like he forgets that he has a gun.
And then he freaks out, and he's just holding her, and he's just like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And
you could have just gotten the killer. Yeah.
Just kill him. It's easy like that. The part that
I know Edgar has an opinion about this.
The what the F moment for me was one of the girls in the group. Her father, it looked like the Russian mob's here. Like, where did that guy come from? The father just drives up in the car, and it's like, "You're coming with me."
We're going to Florida.
I thought he was going to call her like Sergey or something, but it was like, "Comrade, you're coming with me." I'm like, where the F did this guy get from? There's no accent on her that like you wouldn't even think she's Russian. Just out of the blue, like I don't know. That was what the F. And on top of it, it's almost like a double time. Double up. The way she died in that house. I missed something. Was there construction or something? Because what the hell was a table saw just like randomly there?
They were
and this
doing
was like a table
construction
saw
on the
that,
house.
okay, maybe that's what they were doing. But this table saw looked like you're ready to cut down logs, like not necessarily. This is like a heavy duty table saw. So usually when you have table saws, like they have they're not just open with the blade and like that. They have covers, and you don't. If you're not in use, they're usually covered. And I'm like, what the hell kind of place is this? So this is the Russian house, supposedly.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Guillermo.
That's not me.
That's not me. Edgar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What was that?
What was what?
It's the killer. It's the killer, guys. All right, quick, guys. What do you guys rate this movie?
I mean, you kind of go into it knowing what it is, so I say 7.5 because it was entertaining. It was just gory as shit, and I didn't take it too serious, but it was entertaining. I got 7.57. It's average.
Guillermo.
I'd just give it like a 6.9. Just because it.
Why a point 6.9?
Yeah, I didn't want to give it a full 7.
Okay.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It was kind of what you expected. It did still have the things that I hate, which are like I hate cheap moves, like needlessly irrational characters or like cheap jump scares. But it didn't do as much as it was bad. So it was enjoyable. It just was an okay movie. I'd see a sequel, but I wouldn't really be like over the top about it.
You're not as excited to see that sequel as you are to seeing Velociraptor 2, right?
I mean, that will be a classic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Velocipaster.
I mean,
2.
how is there a question about that, Eli? How is there even a question?
Guillermo, I'm going to go with your 6.9. I'm not going to give it a 7, and it was entertaining for what it is. It leaned into what it is. It didn't lean all the way forward. It could have been better, like lean more into that. It could have been more gory. This is Eli Roth. This is the guy who brought us Hostel.
Yeah, but I think it was it. If it would have been more gory, it was pretty gory. But if it would have been more gory, it would have been cheap.
Yeah. But you know what? If you lean into it and just like fuck it, that's what we are.
I mean, he pretty much. You saw someone being sawed in half, bro. How much more do you want him to be?
That was actually the more believable death. The dumpster decapitated.
Oh, the dumpster one was that was not believable.
Edgar, imagine if your torso was on the dumpster, right? Like you had like your top half of your body was in the dumpster, and your bottom half of your body was outside of the dumpster. When the
Yeah.
lid closes, it doesn't like totally decapitate you.
Yeah.
Like unless it's made of like razors, and you'd have to like the force. It wouldn't just be the lid closing. Like the
Look.
force.
Eli Roth is a filmmaker, not a physicist, bro. He doesn't know how.
But like
how it
I
works.
swear, with Eli Roth, his characters are made of Play-Doh.
I mean,
Sure, all right, guys, ready? Let's find out what the IMDb score is. And we are at 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
IMDb.
Yeah, we're pretty
We're-
much there.
we're Pretty
7.
much right on the money.
Yeah.
I said 7. You all said 7.9.
No, you said
6.9.
7.5.
7.5.
I said
7 to
7.5, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still a 7.2, whatever, if you average
right on
it
the
out.
money. This is Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. It is in theaters near you, wherever it is available. Probably most likely soon to streaming. Guillermo, don't let us down.
Fun fact of the day.
All right. So I just learned a really stupid fun fact. You guys all know the Disney or I don't know if it was Disney Pixar at the time, but the Pixar movie Ratatouille.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, I like that movie.
I've seen
Did
it
you
like
know?
20 million times, but go ahead.
Did you know that they kind of went method on one scene of that movie?
What
So
do you-
the animators wanted to get a sense of what would be the realistic reaction if people saw a rat in a restaurant. So they went to a French restaurant and brought a live rat.
Did they let it run around or?
They didn't say, but they went to study people's reaction and ended up getting thrown out of the restaurant. So when you see people panicking in Ratatouille, they did the research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
My daughter loves that movie too.
Oh, we used to watch it there are times where I think we watched it like 3 or 4 times in one day.
Why? I wouldn't let her watch
But
that.
when you
many
have
times.
kids, 3 or 4
Nah,
times. You start in the morning, you end at night. Ratatouille. All right, what do you guys rate the beer? We were drinking Fear Movie Lions. This is by Stone Brewing. This is a hazy double IPA.
I think for me it's like a 6 out
Solid
of 10.
6. Guillermo,
I'm gonna no comment it because it's a double IPA and
you don't like the double IPAs.
I don't like IPAs.
So
Doubling
you're
it.
saying you're biased, Guillermo? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying they have better taste.
I'm gonna go 6.2. That's good. That's
Okay.
good. No, nothing wrong with the double IPA, but it wasn't. There was not the wow factor. Like wow, like
No,
there's
it
something
definitely
incredible
wasn't.
about it. So
I've had
it was
better
good.
hazy IPAs than this for sure.
Yeah, you can still affect the taste and stuff like that. Be sure to stalk us. You can find us wherever the social medias are. We're on Facebook. We're on Threads. We're on Instagram. And, of course, we're right here on YouTube. Please smash that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know when we drop videos. And, of course, you can podcast the show. That's right. You can podcast us. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, to name a few. Please leave a review. Give us some stars. Give us some likes. We do appreciate it. And then for all your geeking out with the brew needs, there's geeksandbrews.com. Gentlemen, what have we learned today? Eli.
I learned that Chris thinks that Eli Roth's movies are made out of Play-Doh. The people that die are made of Play-Doh.
Well, they are. Guillermo.
I learned that I could bring joy to others by falling for a jump scare.
Edgar.
I learned that Eli likes to see people get stabbed in the private parts.
No, that's not true. I wasn't referring to that part. I was referring to something else. But
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
no. Don't do that. Don't get me too'd from the show.
I've learned that you can just throw random Russians in a movie because why not? Why not? With no explanation. Why not?
Hey, where are you going? We're going to Florida.
We're going
Get
to
in the car.
Florida. Why am I sounding Italian right there?
I don't know.
Comrade, we're going to Florida. Let's go. All right, Eli, take us away.
All right, for Geeks and Brews, this is Edgar, Guillermo, Chris, and Eli saying leave no beer behind. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.